Hey guys, it's George from the GG Gamers here, and today we are looking at a game called Cities Skylines. This game came out about this time last week, and I've been playing it for what is roughly about 17 hours or something like that. And yeah, I thought it was my time to give a review on it, so I will be doing that now. So without further ado, let's get into it. We have, first of all, go to the options and have a look at some of these. Quite a lot of customization. If you want your slightly wider resolution, you can use that. Wide selection of resolutions here. Also the option to do a windowed or full screen. However, why you were playing windowed, I have no idea. Also an apply button here to apply your resolution. Then we have this tilt shift amount, which I don't know what it is. I'll probably find out and put it in an annotation. And then 4 levels of detail, including specific shadow quality, texture quality, anti-stroke filtering, shadows distance, and anti-aliasing, all of which I have enabled. Moving on to the audio section of this, we see we have 5 volume sliders. All fully customizable, so you've got the music, ambient volume, effects, and user interface volume, as well as the main volume for everything. The volume in this game does get a bit loud sometimes, so turning this down might be advisable. And onto the gameplay, we can see that the keyboard mapping is fully customizable, and there's a variety of things here. Even like some of the specific macros you can set up in here. Just scroll through map editor. That's actually an interesting feature. I will feature that in a minute. And finally, asset editor. You can also turn edge scrolling off. So if you move your cursor to the edge of the screen, and then obviously the thing moves, then you can turn that off if you don't like that and you're trying to get to the bottom of the bar but you keep going outside your city. And last but not least, we have the miscellaneous settings. In here we have, of course, the language, tutorial messages, Chirper, which is basically Twitter, and of course you can log into Paradox. If you log into Paradox, you get a free park for your city. So right, we're going to head straight into the game with one of the things I've been doing. The game's loading time is fairly quick, although sometimes can be slow if you're loading up a bigger city, especially ones from the workshop that are 25 kilometers squared in size. That's another thing this game has over SimCity, for users who are currently using SimCity but may be tempting buying something else. So just gonna wait for this to load. Anytime now. Right, so we are in the game. One of the first major differences between this and SimCity is the size you can go up to. So by default you're allowed to go to a 3x3 to give you 9 kilometers squared distance. However, a maximum 25 kilometers squared is available should you download a mod that allows that. One thing that should be noted when downloading mods is that you cannot get any achievements and you won't unlock any of these unique buildings. The districts in this are a very sort of new thing. They haven't been in SimCity at all, and they allow you to mark out certain areas of your city. You can use these to allocate certain transport locations. So say you don't want any heavy goods vehicles coming in to your main residential area, you can ban them in this residential area, and this helps a lot with traffic, especially in these roundabout sections actually. One of the major problems I've had with this game is the roundabouts aren't always completely working. I tried to make a roundabout myself and it had a lot of traffic lights on it and completely destroyed the traffic flow of my city. But it should be noted the traffic flow is very good, mostly. So let's just take a look here. We've got all the menus that you'd expect to see in a city builder, with a couple of new additions. Obviously you have the districts menu and think we have the leisure menu, which then shows you where you can go do leisure stuff. In terms of road layout, there are many tools you can use. You have 2-lane roads, 2-lane roads one way, 2-lane roads with grass on the side of one way, and also these 2-lane tracks, service roads that support low traffic. Then over here, this is different. We have intersections that are custom made to you see you've got custom made ones here. Everything from roundabouts to cloverleaf intersections, which are incredibly confusing. You can of course make your own intersections, as you can see here and here, but they're not always the neatest things. The next way you can specialise stuff in this is by allocating certain tasks to certain districts. So as you can see here, my district called Oil has an oil symbol next to it, meaning every industry inside this district then automatically becomes oil. I've done the same over here for the farming district, which as you can see is bustling. This game, in terms of demand for things, can have a few problems. If you build stuff too quickly, demand goes straight down and then you have no demand for the rest of the game, which is never very good. But otherwise, if you just keep up with the demand, keep building certain things, and in terms of demand, this is the box down here, should you need to find that. So why should you buy this game over SimCity? The big question on everyone's lips. Well, this game offers many different things to SimCity. You've got the districts, you have the DRM, which is non-existent in this game, which is fantastic because it means you don't have to be online to play it. Although it does offer an online thing, but you don't need to use it, which is fantastic. Also, the roads work much better than SimCity's do, in my opinion. You don't get road graphs going everywhere. You can just see, you start drawing one, it shows you where you can build off the road. There's also a freeform road section, which allows you to freeform roads like that. Another thing I will say about this game is the ability to place trees is somewhat frustrating, as each tree has to be placed individually. There's no paint tool for this, like there was in SimCity, where you just click and drag and it would make trees. However, for the districts and the residential areas, you can choose a paintbrush, and then when you hold that down, anything that's like this will then automatically be turned into residential, which is really good for those players that don't want to faff around clicking each individual square, especially when you have disjointed squares like this. You can also use the fill tool, which is really useful if you've got a very grid-like area, like over here. As you can see, it fills up a large section of it. Back on the positive sides of things, you have these various monuments in here that you have to work towards. So far, I've unlocked a couple from each section, but these unlock as your city grows. So in terms of city growth, you start off with a little hamlet where you have taxes, loans, garbage, healthcare, education, elementary school, medical clinic and landfill site with a population of 400. You can then increase that to a worthy village to a population of 800 and then buy another square, and so on and so on. Now it's usually every other time you'll unlock the ability to buy a new square and expand your city. When it comes to water usage in this game, it should be noted that you will have to be really careful as to where you put down your water. Taking the flow of the stream into account is very important, as when your sewage is released, it can cause a large amount of harm to the environment around, especially if your citizens end up drinking that water, which is not very good, as you can imagine. Electricity is quite easy to get. The wind farms work very well as sort of early game electricity, but if you want sort of cleaner late game electricity, then I'd advise you go for the nuclear power plant. Hydro dams can be interesting and cause many problems with your cities, as I will now demonstrate. So here we are in my first city, and here is my dam in my first city. So at first glance, everything looks fine until you see how high up the water has come from where it first started. To give you an idea of where the water started, this power cable, you could see the bottom of it. Now it's halfway up. There's a considerable amount more water in here, and your hydro dams do affect the amount of water in the area when placed. Furthermore, the additional hydro dam in your city, then can add areas of wetland to your surrounding areas, including here where I managed to completely destroy the road section and the railway line as well. One very important thing with this game is remembering to put services in, otherwise you end up with a lot of dead people and it's not very nice. Expenses can get a bit ridiculous as well, and generally you need to stay on top of things. If you don't stay on top of things, things are going to go bad, and well, when things go bad, dams explode and water goes everywhere. Anyway guys, I hope you found my review of Cities Skylines interesting and informative to whether you want to buy this game in the future. Thanks for watching guys. Please leave a like and a comment. If you have any questions about this game, I will be in the comments answering your questions there and then. If you comment around sort of anyone that's not, when I'm not at college basically, I should receive it and I should be able to return to your comment and tell you about it. If you also like the content, you should subscribe. Why not? What are you waiting for? You should definitely subscribe. Not plugging myself at all there. See ya!